They're all failures! Time to show them what I'm truly capable of. After the close success, but in the end still failure of Acapura, same thing for previous hybrids like corn, I realized I needed to step it up a notch. And that's where I come to you today with what I proudly call my aquatic meta breaker. Most of the genome consists of animals that I haven't even seen touched in other hybrids, not to mention the fact that it also relies on a species of animal that, despite being the most prominent in its environment, has not been touched by anyone. These hybrids were meant to be versatile, being able to take on sharks, fish, whales, ichthyosaurs, anything that comes in its path. So, with the hype aside, let's get to the genome. I've began to notice something in modern aquatic hybrids. Something that I have found an issue and decided to solve. When you look at aquatic hybrids, you'll see there are sharks, there's whales, there's dolphins, heck, even jellyfish and amphibians, and not to mention the ichthyo and mosasaurs. But there's no fish. No matter where you look, there hasn't been one fish hybrid, the most prominent animal in the ocean. And this hybrid is going to be prominently, if not entirely, fish. And starting our meta breaker, we will be building it off of the black drumfish, a deep sea fish known for its powerful bite force and a lining of teeth on the inside of its mouth. Though we won't be taking either of these, they will still be providing additional congruence with other things in the genome, all round providing a solid base. The first thing we will be adding to our aquatic meta breaker is armor, since it doesn't matter how good your offenses are if you can't live long enough to use them. We will be starting with the alligator gar. The alligator gar will be providing its ganoid scales, being some of the strongest scales of any fish, even topping that of the arapaima, and it actually surprises me no one's used it. And these scales will also have the osteoderms from one of my favorite fish, the sturgeon. The sturgeon osteoderms will make it so when other animals come to try to bite into the fish's armor, they'll have to worry about scraping against those scutes, which in the version of the sturgeon we're using, these osteoderms are actually rather sharp and would make it so that if a hybrid or other predator wasn't looking where it was biting, it could significantly injure its teeth or gums while it tried to chew. Along with this, we will be adding pinfish. Let me explain. Pinfish don't seem all that crazy, they're rather tiny, although they've got a funny little trick that gets them their name, being those spines you see on the top and bottom halves of their body. Not only do these spines, of course, just act as a hazard, they keep fish from trying to attack our hybrid from the top or bottom. Now, you may be asking, why not go with stonefish? The thing is, if you notice a common pattern found in nature, the larger an animal gets, the less need they have for venom, because not only does that venom take longer to distribute over a larger vessel, the metabolic load required to produce venom is just a burden that isn't really worth it on an animal this big, and there's really no point to adding something like stonefish or lionfish when this really does the same thing while still giving our hybrid more energy than before. We will also be taking the bullhead catfish. Catfish, and the one we're using, the bullhead catfish, have a funny little trick, and this is specifically prominent on their dorsal and pectoral fins, and that is at the front of these fins, it is carried by a long serrated spine. These spines usually lock in place whenever the animal is about to be swallowed, although in this case they will still be helpful, as they will keep animals from trying to ambush our hybrid from the top, as well as protecting the gills from any attacks that might come from just behind the head. Speaking of the head, we will also be adding Placo for armor on the head specifically, and that weird little swirly pattern you see everywhere, just because I'm gonna use that. With armor aside, let's get to the offensives. Offensive capabilities of this meta breaker are where it really shines, and we'll be starting this with the Travis Scott. No, the triggerfish. My bad. And two types of triggerfish in specific. The first type we will be using is the Titan triggerfish. You see, triggerfish have several little tricks with their teeth, starting with a material often found in parrotfish and triggerfish included, fluorapatite. And the main thing that keeps most animals from using fluorapatite is the fact that the amount of fluorine required to produce the material is toxic to most animals. But because our animal is a fish, and fish are able to tolerate this amount of fluorine, fluorapatite works in this case. We will also be taking the Titan triggerfish's teeth layout, I want to call it. Basically, if you look at their teeth, you notice they start short in the back and come forward to almost a point. This will allow our hybrid to focus all of its pressure on one area, kind of similar to what you've seen land hybrids do with the Thylacoleo. Only now we're applying it to an aquatic hybrid. This will also be modified with the more common triggerfish, which, due to a difference in diet, instead of having more blocky-like teeth meant for crushing coral, these come to almost a sort of blade, turning our hybrid's jaws into effectively a bear trap. Now, these already powerful teeth will also be given the serrations from the tiger shark, and tiger shark does provide a few other things in the genome, aside from what it's been commonly used for in the past, since I do feel that tiger shark can be utilized in other ways. The next modification we will be making to the jaws are from the Payara. Now, you might notice on the Payara, it has two very long teeth on its bottom jaw, giving it the nickname vampire fish, although we won't be taking these, but rather something that comes with them. As seen in saber-toothed tigers as well, and some snakes with their fangs, whenever an animal has long fangs, a large gape comes with it, the Payara in specific having an almost 180-degree gape. We won't be taking all of this, although our hybrid will be given a gape roughly 100 to 120 degrees, allowing for a solid bite and allowing him to get his teeth around whatever he can. And this large gape will play into our next contributor. The next contributor we will be providing is the Goliath grouper. The Goliath grouper does show up again in the genome, although it has great importance right here. It will first be providing a larger head. This is specifically for one advantage I've seen no one take in the water. Basically, when most fish hunt, things like sharks, Dunkleosteus, almost anything, take advantage of having a large head. This is because when their mouth is opened, it pulls in water, creating a suction that pulls in prey. Things like the Dunkleosteus took advantage of this, rapidly opening and closing their mouth to pull animals in to their shearing jaws. Giving our hybrid the larger head of the grouper allows for our hybrid to have the same suction, so anything smaller than it, or it still being mildly effective on things its size, will allow it, while swimming forward, to constantly pull the animal in front of it into its jaws, creating an unescapable and inevitable fate. And one more thing modifies the jaws, cranking our hybrid up to the next level, doubling its jaw strength currently. Now, One thing very common in fish is the shape of their skull, a grouper skull for reference. Their jaws are usually large and thin, and this is why things like the megalodon, as seen in its jaws as well, wouldn't be able to have the same bite force as something like a leviathan, despite the fact that they are about the same size. This boils down to the fact that leviathans and mammals as a whole have stronger, more uniform jaws that allow for more muscle connection and weight support. And this is where the Atlantic wolffish comes in. Now, going back to our grouper skull, this is the skull of a grouper and how most fish skulls look. And this is the skull of the Atlantic wolffish. The Atlantic wolffish evolved to have a strong, large lower jaw that we will be modifying our hybrid with, allowing it to have more muscle connection and allow it to have an even stronger bite force than before. This combined with the muscles from the tiger shark, which we will be going more into later, and the congruence of the strong bite force from the black drumfish, this will allow our hybrid to have a devastating bite force for its size. And a few other things now that we have the big stuff out of the way. We are going to be going into intelligence and endurance and all those other little things. Firstly, for intelligence, we will be taking the Goliath grouper. Now, Goliath groupers don't immediately come off as intelligent, as most fish really don't, although the Goliath grouper is a lot smarter than I actually knew before researching, but Goliath groupers have been shown to be able to even communicate with other fish through complex head nods and even coordinate attacks with other fish. Like, for example, if there's fish in a cave, Goliath groupers will signal to things like moray eels to basically go inside and flush the fish out, which is strategy in its finest. And our meta breaker, which there will actually be 3 of, will be able to coordinate with each other and perform strategic attacks. Alongside that, grouper will also be providing a more diverse diet, and that's really all we will be taking from the grouper. We will also be taking a bit of size from the whale shark, putting our hybrids at about 30 feet long. Now, the final thing we will be adding, since of course it's a hybrid made by me, why would I forget about this? We will be throwing in a bit of aesthetics with the arowana. The arowana literally just provides color, that's it. But, I mean, it's going to allow our hybrids to look flashy, and, well, let's get to the presentation, shall we? These are the final designs for our meta breakers, the blue one being Gantomur, the top one, or the gold one, being Bayan, and the orange one being Galbadrak, translating to resilience, wealth, and obviously for Galbadrak, fire. In terms of stats, with the broad skull of the black drumfish, the enforced bottom jaw of the Atlantic wolffish, and all the other modifications we made, these 30-foot-long fish have a bite force of around 70,000 newtons, a cruising speed of roughly 7 to 5 miles an hour, and a top speed of about 15 miles an hour. They usually never leave their group, with Gantomir being a lot more patient and often gentle towards visitors, Bayan being snarky and spoiled, only eating things he finds luxurious or good enough for him, in other words, and having a good reputation with the locals. And Galbadrak always has to be kept in check by the other two, as he's usually more violent, or fiery, I guess you could say. Now for the fun part. All of you are getting challenged. I'm talking to you with your little Dracocetus, I'm talking to you, Metrio, with your dolphin or lame excuse for an aquatic hybrid, and Conciliatory Past, the creator of Bruce, Though Bruce has proven to be quite the great shark hybrid, I feel it's about time the king's reign end, don't you think?
And you...
Me? Yeah, I wasn't about to challenge you. I think someone over there wanted to, go deal with them. Oh, that was a close call. But anyways, if you enjoyed your time here, like, subscribe, and, hopefully I'll see you later. And also, if you want to see me make a video talking about how other aquatic hybrids fare against these three, please do let me know. But with that, the video has come to an end, so bye.